Welcome back, episode 29, and the second part of our mini-series on footwork, going through the details of the footwork so that you can better understand how the Wongsan and Wing Chun Kuen Hok system works in regard to movement. We've already talked about the idea of practicing from this, well, let's call it an attacking position, your advancing steps, Sam Gok Bo, right? But the other way to practice it, and what makes it a really relevant way to train the whole concept, is to work from the Yiji Kim Yong Ma and practice Seung Ma, which is attacking forward, by changing the Yiji Kim Yong Ma into the attacking footwork. Now, there's a little feature that's very important about this, and that is if you do this too rigidly, too stiffly, and bring your front foot, or the leg that's going to become the front foot, to the tip of the triangle that's been created on the ground by your stance, what will happen is your body automatically turns away from the center. So my opponent is here, but what I've physically done by moving rigidly is I've turned myself off the center line. That gives my opponent a distinct advantage over me. He's already facing and I'm not. So we want to make sure that when we do this Seung Ma practice from the Yiji Kim Yong Ma, that we keep the lower half of the body very loose, so that what happens is your front foot, or the leg that's going to become the front foot, is able to move in a slight and very natural curve. It's not that we're doing something like this. There are some people who practice it that way, and I think that's an extremely dangerous way to practice, because you're giving up all of your balance and you're shifting your stance to a very weakened position, letting your opponent know what you're up to. What we want to do is something much more subtle, so that it happens so smoothly they don't get a chance to read it and see it coming. So you can watch that again, and I'll do it more slowly, and you'll see that my front leg takes a slight but very clear curved line. Here in Malaysia, we jokingly call this our banana step, right? Because lots of bananas in Malaysia, so everybody can relate to the idea. We all know bananas are slightly bent, they're not bent at right angles. So what we want is a footwork action that is slightly curved. That way you can see what happens. My upper body, my hips and shoulders, can always face the front. So whether I'm coming in on the right side or the left side, I've always got Chiu Ying. Now, how does that relate to my partner? If he's got his guard up and I want to get in, what I've got to do is get past the guard without going out to the side. So by using that little curve, I can come in on a very narrow line, trap his front leg, and change his structure. So again, a brief idea about how the Seung Ma works from the Yiji Kim Yong Ma. We'll continue addressing this topic and other footwork topics in the next one. Thanks, Gandak. See you next week.